Have you ever noticed how something as simple as reaching for a glass on the counter or stepping off a curb feels just a little less steady than it used to? Paused for a moment, grabbed the nearest wall, and wondered quietly to yourself, is this just getting older? You're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. Balance shifts as we age. It's one of those quiet changes that sneaks up gradually until one day it isn't so quiet anymore. A stumble in the kitchen, a moment of unsteadiness on the stairs. Falls are one of the most serious concerns for older adults. And yet, here's what most people don't realize. Your balance is not something you simply lose and can't get back. It can be trained, it can be strengthened, and it doesn't require a gym membership, special equipment, or even getting up from your favorite chair. I'm Dr. Naira Stein, and for years I have dedicated my work to helping older adults move through life with confidence, strength, and independence. Every single day, I speak with seniors who have been told to simply be careful, as if caution alone could protect them. But careful isn't a strategy. Strength is. And today, I want to give you real tools to build that strength right where you are, right now. In this script, I'm going to walk you through 5 gentle, seated exercises specifically designed to improve your balance and reduce your risk of falling. These movements are safe, effective, and backed by solid research in aging and physical rehabilitation. Whether you're 65 or 95, whether you've exercised your whole life or this feels like a brand new beginning, these exercises are for you. Stay with me. What you're about to learn could truly change how you move through the world. Why balance changes as we age. Before we get into the exercises, let's take just a moment to understand what's actually happening in the body. Because when you understand the why, the how makes so much more sense. Balance is not a single system. It's a conversation happening constantly between 3 key parts of your body: your inner ear, your eyes, and the sensory receptors in your muscles and joints, particularly in your feet, ankles, and legs. These 3 systems send signals to your brain, which then coordinates your posture and movement in real time. As we grow older, each of these systems changes. The inner ear becomes slightly less sensitive, vision may dim or narrow, and something called proprioception, your body's awareness of where it is in space, begins to slow down. On top of that, muscle mass naturally declines with age, a process called sarcopenia, which means the muscles responsible for stabilizing your core, hips, and legs become weaker and less actively maintained. The encouraging news? Exercise, even gentle seated exercise, has been shown in clinical studies to meaningfully improve balance, strengthen stabilizing muscles, and retrain the nervous system's response to movement. You don't need to stand on one leg to make progress. You just need to move intentionally and consistently. The 5 seated exercises. Find a sturdy, armless chair with a firm seat. Place it on a flat, non-slip surface. Sit tall with your feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart. Keep your spine long, your shoulders relaxed, and your chin gently lifted. You should feel grounded and comfortable before we begin. Exercise 1. Seated marching. This first movement is beautifully simple, but don't let that fool you. Seated marching activates the hip flexors, engages the core, and begins to wake up the neural pathways that your body uses to sense movement and maintain stability. How to do it. Sit upright in your chair with both feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift your right knee toward your chest, just a few inches, no need to go high. Hold it for 2 counts. Lower it gently. Now lift the left knee. Alternate sides in a slow, deliberate marching rhythm. Duration: 30 to 60 seconds to start. Build toward 2 full minutes over time. Dr. Stein's tip: try closing your eyes briefly during this movement, just for a moment, to gently challenge your balance system by reducing visual input. Open your eyes if you feel unsteady. Exercise 2. Heel-to-toe raises. Weak ankles and tight calves are among the most overlooked contributors to falls in older adults. This exercise targets both, while also improving circulation in the lower legs. A bonus for anyone who spends a lot of time seated during the day. How to do it. Sit tall with both feet flat. Slowly lift both heels off the floor, rising onto your toes. Hold for 2 counts, then gently lower. Then do the reverse. Lift your toes off the ground, pressing your heels down. Hold for 2 counts, then lower. Alternate between heel raises and toe raises in a smooth, controlled rhythm. Duration: 10 to 15 repetitions of each. Rest and repeat. Move slowly and deliberately. The goal isn't speed, it's neuromuscular control. You're retraining how your ankles respond to shifts in your body weight. Exercise 3. Seated side leg raises. The muscles along the outer hip, the gluteus medius in particular, are your body's primary sideways stabilizers. When they're strong, you can recover from an unexpected shift in balance. When they're weak, a simple sideways step can become a fall. This exercise targets exactly that. How to do it. Sit near the front edge of your chair so your thighs have room to move. Place both hands lightly on the armrests or the sides of the seat for support. Keeping your back straight and your knee bent, slowly lift your right leg out to the side, just a few inches. Hold for 2 counts. Lower it back down. Repeat on the left side. Duration: 8 to 12 repetitions per side. Work up to 2 to 3 sets. You may feel this movement more in your outer thigh and hip. That's exactly where we want to feel it. If you feel pain, reduce the range of motion. Even a small lift activates the right muscles. Exercise 4. Seated core engagement, the posture hold. Good balance starts from the inside out. Your core, the deep muscles of your abdomen, back, and pelvis, is your body's anchor. A strong core keeps you upright, absorbs sudden movements, and dramatically reduces the risk of a fall when something unexpected happens underfoot. How to do it. Sit toward the front of your chair. Place both feet flat on the floor. Now, very gently, lift both feet just 1 inch off the floor, enough to feel your core engaged to hold you steady. Hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds, breathing normally throughout. Lower your feet. Rest for a moment. Repeat. Duration: 5 to 8 repetitions. Work toward holding for 20 to 30 seconds over several weeks. Don't hold your breath. Breathing steadily while engaging your core is actually more challenging and more beneficial than holding both at once. Exercise 5. The sit to stand practice. This final movement is not just an exercise. It is one of the most functional and protective skills an older adult can maintain. Getting up from and sitting back down into a chair is something most of us do dozens of times a day. Practicing it deliberately builds leg strength, trains balance transitions, and prepares your body for real-world movement. How to do it. Sit toward the front of a sturdy chair. Place your feet hip-width apart, slightly behind your knees. Cross your arms gently across your chest. Lean slightly forward from the hips, not the waist, and slowly rise to standing, pushing evenly through both feet. Pause at the top. Then, slowly lower yourself back into the chair with control, as if you're gently placing yourself down rather than dropping. Duration: 5 repetitions to begin. Work toward 10 to 15 over time. The slower you go, especially on the way back down, the more muscle you build. If this feels difficult, use your hands for support at first. That's perfectly fine. The goal is to need that support less and less as your legs grow stronger. How often should you do these exercises? Consistency matters far more than intensity. Research in senior fall prevention consistently shows that doing balance exercises at least 3 to 5 times per week produces meaningful improvements in stability, strength, and confidence over a period of 8 to 12 weeks. A reasonable starting routine might look like this. Begin with 2 or 3 exercises each session, not all 5 at once. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes of total movement 3 days per week. Add duration or repetitions gradually, only when each exercise feels comfortable and controlled. Always listen to your body. A gentle effort sustained over time is far more valuable than a hard effort that leads to injury or discouragement. And please, if you have a health condition, a recent injury, or any concerns about your mobility, speak with your physician or a physical therapist before beginning. These exercises are designed to be gentle and accessible, but your individual health history always matters. You might be wondering, can seated exercises really make a difference for balance? Isn't the point of balance training to actually stand up and challenge yourself? The answer is nuanced, and the research is reassuring. A landmark review published in the journal Age and Aging found that exercise programs specifically designed for older adults, including chair-based routines, significantly reduced both the rate of falls and the number of people who experienced falls. The key was not the difficulty of the exercises, but their consistency and their targeted focus on the muscles and neurological pathways involved in balance. Seated exercises are particularly valuable for individuals who feel unsafe standing unsupported, those who are returning to activity after illness or surgery, and anyone who is just beginning a movement practice. They allow the body to work against resistance and develop neuromuscular control without the fear of falling. And that sense of safety is not a small thing. Fear of falling is itself a major risk factor for falls because it causes people to move less, become more sedentary, and lose exactly the strength and coordination they need to stay steady. By beginning in a chair, you build a foundation, and that foundation, over time, supports a return to greater movement, greater independence, and greater confidence. You made it to the end of this session, and I want you to know something. The fact that you're here, reading these words, thinking about your health and your mobility, that matters. That is not a small thing. So many people your age have been told that decline is inevitable, that their best days of movement are behind them. I am here to tell you, gently and firmly, that this is simply not true. Your body is remarkable. It responds to attention. It responds to movement. It responds to care, even now, especially now. Start with one exercise today, just one. Do it slowly. Do it thoughtfully. Notice how your body feels. Then come back tomorrow or the day after and do it again. That is how strength is built. Not in dramatic moments, but in quiet, consistent returns. Balance is not just about preventing falls. It's about the confidence to reach for what you want. The freedom to move through your home, your garden, your community, without hesitation and without fear. That is what you are working toward, and every single repetition gets you closer. I'm Dr. Naira Stein, and I'll be here with you at every step. Take good care of yourself today, because you deserve it.